went to see, without the peanut gallery, Dungeon and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. The reason I didn't ask the peanut gallery to come was, other than it was a very short notice thing, but I wasn't sure this was going to be a good movie, and I don't want to take her to see a not good movie, because then she gets pissed off and I have to listen to it. It is, and I've sort of realized that already when I decided to go to it. This is obviously trying to become a franchise. I don't think that's a problem, actually. I think that's actually a smart move. Modern people want franchises. That's what makes money. That is what the movies make money, and then you can make bigger movies and more. Because it's an adventure genre, and you want pretty movies. But how do you get money? You get money because you have a good reputation, because you have a franchise. So these are. I do believe this is actually made by Wizards of the Coast or one of the other ones. I think it's Hasbro. Definitely Hasbro, because I saw the vignette for Hasbro. Hasbro makes games.
Hasbro and Paramount.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because it's a Chris Pine thing, and he usually is with Paramount.
He's a Paramount guy? Okay.
Yes, as far as I know, he's he was with Star Trek, and that's Paramount. So maybe he's very good. And I'll get to that.
I want to see it.
Yeah, you do want to see it, and I apologize for not taking you, but I was worried that we're going to... this sort of thing can be either very scary or very unpleasant, but they did everything right. They made a fun romp that has potential to keep going. They introduced a bunch of characters and gave some more elaborate backstory, and others a hint of a backstory, so you have more for the next one. They got sympathetic people that are not your everything's white guy kind of thing. The whitest guy of there is Chris Pine.
Grant, apparently.
Yeah, but he is not quite. He's not quite part of. That's complicated.
Oh. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, you will, because I didn't know Hugh. If I had known Hugh Grant was in it, I would have definitely asked you to come, because I know you're a big. The Peanut Gallery is a big fan,
yes.
But I didn't know. He has a good role, but maybe not as good as you would want it to be. But he's not the young guy here, and Chris Pine is not the young guy either. But he's trying to be, which is what his role is. His role is trying to be the young guy. If you've ever played D&D, and okay, let's assume you have never played D&D, and D&D is a game where you, as the player, become a bunch of characters, usually singular, but I used to always play with at least 2 characters at the same time, because we were that kind of group. And this character gets a set of traits which are standard, like you have a wizard character, you have a thief character. Thief character is usually also like an elf or something like that. You have like a bard character who is usually considered to be the most useless person in the group. You have a warrior character. You have a paladin, which is kind of a warrior but sort of more straight-laced, yes. And all these characters are in this thing. They are not quite called that because our Chris Pine character introduced himself as a harpist. He is part of the Harpist Guild. He's obviously a bard. But the warrior character, who is never named as the warrior, is actually a quite sturdy lady, and I really like that. They are.
Michelle Rodriguez as Holga Kilgore,
yes,
a barbarian who was exiled from etcetera.
And so she's the warrior, and Chris Pine, the Chris Pine character. I forget all the names. I'm sorry.
It's Elgin Darvis, a bard and former member of the Harpers.
Yeah, there you go. That's the first time they actually used the word bard in this thing, because they never say that he's a bard. He's bard. He actually had a lady, and the lady had a baby, but the lady is no more, and the baby grew up with the warrior lady as... they sort of banded together and left and went around wandering, and the little girl grew up, and that's where we are. The little girl is now, she's like 13, 14, something like that. Shenanigans happen. I'm not going to tell you any of the movie because it's just an enjoyable romp. It's fun. I think they did everything right in making choosing to. They must have set somebody down, somebody that paid probably very handsomely, and said, go look at what Marvel did and write me that down so we can do it too. And basically that's what this is. That's why I thought this is going to be a really short review, because that's basically what it is. They looked at Marvel, they looked and figured out what the Marvel did right, and they are trying to do that now. And I think they're doing that. They have Chris Pine is a wonderful person to hang on to. This Rodriguez lady, she was never very famous. The only thing I looked her up, and the only thing I knew that she was in was Lost, and I've not seen that much of Lost. But she is kicky-assy lady.
Sports drama film called Girl Fight.
Yeah, there you go. And she is a girl fight kind of gal.
She was in Avatar.
Yeah, but that's very hard to be an Avatar. You don't get.
She starred in Avatar, so that would mean she is the main.
Yeah, but that's.
I'll go look.
It doesn't help you because
I can't see her face.
Exactly, she's a construct.
It's probably her.
Which would be weird because she's completely the wrong build for that. But okay. Anyway,
she was in Smurfs: The Lost Village.
Yeah, exactly. This should be her role. I think she's going to be able to do this for a long time. She's not quite as young as one would like her to be, but that's okay. They have a couple of younger people in for the wizard. There's a young lad, and for the thief, the elf thief. Is also young. The girl is young. The daughter is young. So yeah, there's lots of things. Another thing they took from Marvel is, what do you pick for a villain? And I think probably the Peanut Gallery should probably hold her ears now, unless she will get spoilers. She already got the spoilers because she's reading the page.
Is it a guy called Forge Fitzwilliam, an ambitious rogue and con artist?
Yeah, played by exactly. Yeah, but no, yes and no. Yeah. Marvel has already realized, possibly not actively, but I think probably yes, is that you have two types of villains. One type is your Loki and your Lex Luthor, who are villainous bots. When push comes to shove, they don't want to die. They don't want their planets destroyed. They don't want to get deaded. So when push comes to shove, they change over and help the heroes out. There is also the other type, which is your Thanos and the bad guy in this franchise, which are the Red Monks. I believe that they're the Red Monks, and they just want to dead everybody dead. That's their mainstay, and there is no making nice with this. With this, you don't have to do anything other than we need to vanquish. We either vanquish or we die. So you can team up with your Lokis and your Fitzgeralds. Fitzwilliams and your Lex Luthors, but you cannot team up with your Thanoses and your Red Monks. Yeah. And I think they picked a really good opponent because this fight is to the death, literally. So we only had a taster of these bad guys, but they are in this world, and so I'm waiting for part 2. For the next installment. I mean, this is a complete story, so there's a beginning, middle, and an end, and a conclusion, and then a world to franchise in. Yeah. So yes, Peanut Gallery is recommended to go and watch it.
I will go watch it.
And that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it.